Now, we all know who the greatest shooter of all time is, and we also seen that there's been a lot of great shooters throughout NBA history, but who's the worst shooter? And today we're gonna watch a video that's probably gonna tell us that. So as always, drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let's hop straight into it. Should be a good video. Alright, as always, the video link is always in the description. Yeah, let's check it out. Like I said, drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let's do this.
You'd think shooting is an important skill in modern basketball. These players would disagree. Here are the NBA's all-time worst shooters.
Let's see.
Three-pointers. Michael Jordan is the worst shooter ever. Okay, he's not. But he also kind of is. When we're talking about the three-point competition at the All-Star Game. 1990 was the first year MJ really started taking and making threes. He was among the league leaders in three-point percentage. So, the NBA decided to milk his
MJ really could do it all.
Spice up the three-point competition. And it didn't end well. Jordan made just 5 of 30 shots. To this day, the worst ever three-point contest performance.
Dang,
but we're talking
MJ?
about real NBA games. There were other All-Stars and Hall of Famers on the worst three-point shooters list. Easily the worst bricklayer from deep, with over 1,000 attempts, is Charles Barkley. While competing against Ernie Johnson at the Inside the NBA version of the three-point contest, we learned Ernie's pretty darn good in the driveway, and Chuck is not. He made only 26.6% of the 2020 career threes he attempted. No wonder he hated jump shooting teams, and encouraged players to spend more time in the post. Sounds like a personal problem. The second worst shooter behind the arc is Corey Brewer. In 2014, he went off for a 51-point game, not a single three. This is not surprising because he only
Corey Brewer, but the fact but the fact he went for 51 and no threes, that's actually crazy for Corey Brewer. Like, I know Corey was a bucket in his time, but that's crazy.
28.2% of three-pointers in his career. At number 3, we have Josh Smith. Every time he attempted a three-pointer, he gave the coach a heart attack. If you want to know why, 28.5%. That's why. Number 4 is a current All-Star and MVP candidate. Can you guess? DeMar DeRozan is often called a mid-range king and is one of the best shooters in the NBA, between 10 to 18 feet from the basket. In 2012, 10 years ago, 30% of all shots in the NBA were mid-range shots, compared to only 13% in the 2022 season. While most of the NBA has taken a step back for the extra point, DeRozan was always reluctant to fire from deep. And while DeMar converts mid-range shots at a 50% clip, which is among the best marks in the NBA, he's only a 28.7% shooter from 3 in his career. At 28.9%, number 5, the 5-time NBA champion, Ron Harper, known for his stellar defense, not his shooting. Number 6, with 29% from 3 for his career, is another Hall of Famer, Isaiah Thomas. In Zeke's defense, he came to the NBA in 1981, just 2 seasons after the NBA introduced a three-point shot. Back then,
so credit. Like the 80s and 90s and like 70s, they wasn't shooting threes, so like it makes sense that like some of the worst three-point shooters are people from like those eras, and like anytime before like the actual three-point line, it's kind of crazy to think about because like we've seen highlights of people from like playing from a long time ago shooting from like far from the rim. It was no three-point line, so they were shooting far from the rim, and technically those would have been threes. So it's kind of crazy how like they was hitting those shots, but then the three-point line came and they was kind of like, you know what I mean? But to like their defense, it is what it is.
No one was great at shooting threes. In the 1980 NBA Finals, when Magic won the Finals MVP, just 1 3 was made in the entire Finals series by both teams.
It's crazy.
In the first year of the three-pointer, in 6 games, the Lakers and the Sixers made just 1 3 out of 20 attempts. But in the 2016 NBA Finals, Steph Curry made 32 threes by himself.
That's
like Isaiah,
unbelievable.
Our 7th worst shooter, Giannis Antetokounmpo, sports a 29% shooting clip from the three-point land, and his shooting struggles gained a lot of notoriety in recent years. You may be surprised with this next player, another future Hall of Famer. Dwayne Wade was a mid-range assassin. Flash did all of his damage inside the arc, crowning himself as the 8th worst all-time three-point shooter with 29.
Okay, I know I keep pausing it, but like y'all know I'm a Heat fan. Was Dwayne Wade really that bad at shooting threes? Like, have I just been blinded by fandom this whole time? Like, was he really that bad at shooting threes?
0.2% as the final members of the top 10 most terrible three-point shooters with more than 1,000 attempts. We have 1991 Rookie of the Year and an All-Star, Derek Coleman, alongside the 1987 fourth overall pick, Reggie Williams, who also shot below 30% from deep. For all the Lakers fans waiting on Russell Westbrook and his atrocious shooting,
Yeah, he better be on the
Russ
list.
is the worst ever three-point shooter among those with more than 2,500 attempts. He's making only 30.
It makes sense now. This is why the Lakers ain't make the playoffs. This is why the Lakers ain't make the playoffs. Because Russell can't shoot. But we knew that, though.
Threes, but he still thinks it's okay to hoist nearly 4 threes per game. Poor LeBron. Other famous bricklayers like Ben Simmons, Tony Allen, and Dennis Rodman would also make this list, but they didn't shoot enough to qualify. Ben Simmons has made just 5 threes in his NBA career out of 34 shots. That's less than 15%. Worst free throw shooters. A lot of people think Shaq is the worst free throw shooter ever. So bad, other teams intentionally fouled him, which coined the phrase hack-a-Shaq. But O'Neal is only the 5th worst shooter from the foul line, with a 52.7% career mark. Shaq was supposedly an 80% free throw shooter in practice, but it seems like the big fella didn't like the pressure of being isolated at the line. Undoubtedly the biggest Achilles heel of his career. When Rick Barry suggested to him that he shoots underhanded like him, Shaq declined, even though Barry was one of the best foul shooters ever. O'Neal said, Granny style may be effective, but he's too hip-hop for that, and he'd rather miss the shoot like that. But even Grandma wouldn't miss 11 free throws in a row. Shaq was such a terrible shooter that he missed all 11 freebies in a game, which is an NBA record for most misses without a make. Next, at 51.1% from the line, we have Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq's only true predecessor. And just like O'Neal, Wilt could hardly be stopped during live action, and that's why his opponents had no
Wilt was
choice
just throwing the ball at the
rim. For a
rim.
while, Chamberlain even shot underhanded, but nothing helped. He's the all-time NBA leader in missed free throws with 5,805 misses. Even worse, we have DeAndre Jordan, one of 3 NBA players in history with less than a 50% success rate from the foul line. Against all odds, DJ showed signs of progress, shooting 70% in
Chris Paul really had his man on an all-NBA team. DeAndre Jordan sucks. Chris Paul really had his man on an all-NBA team, bro. That's unbelievable.
2019 and 2020, but he relapsed to his bricking habits, and his career free throw rate is a lowly 47.5%. Charles Barkley had a killer quote about DeAndre's complete lack of a jump shot. If you locked him in a gym by himself overnight and told him he couldn't dunk, he'd have 6 points in the morning. In the top 2, another active player on this list is Andre Drummond with 47.1%. In 2016, when he made his first All-Star team,
yeah, Drummond used to
only
suck
made 35% of his free throws, and he holds the record for most missed free throws in a game with 23, but far below everybody else.
The man missed 23 free throws in a game. The fact that he was even getting fouled that much, if I'm the ref and I'm seeing he already missed 10, bro, I'm not giving you no more fouls. I'm sorry, bro. It's like, there's no point.
A 41.4% career foul shooter. We have Ben Wallace. Man shot for 33.6% free throws in 2001, the worst mark of all time. Field goal percentage. As far as field goal percentage is concerned, things get complicated when discussing the worst shooters in history. Let me explain. In Bill Russell's rookie season, the league average for field goal percentage was 38%, and Neil Johnston led the league in efficiency at only 44% shooting for the field. That's why the worst shooters in history, with a minimum of 2,000 attempts, are from the 40s and 50s. John Mencken, who played in the inaugural NBA season in 1946 until 1953, holds the worst field goal percentage in history. Mencken, a 6'8" center, shot just 27% from the field in his 7 NBA seasons. His contemporary Joe Fulks holds an NBA record for most missed field goals in a game, with 42 misses out of 55 attempts. Yikes. Among today's players, Devontae Graham, Marcus Smart, and Stanley Johnson have the worst career field goal percentages. With a success rate of just 38%, they're the only active players to rank among the 100 worst field goal shooters.
Have y'all been seeing how like they've been putting like Wilt Chamberlain's highlights in like color and like 4K? We might watch some of those.
Shooters of all time.
All right, I mean, like, there y'all have it. I mean, y'all saw the list. We know Curry's the greatest shooter of all time, and now we know why the Lakers didn't make the playoffs. Russell Westbrook can't shoot threes. One of the worst three-point shooters of all time. I think we knew that, but like this whole time, like I didn't know Dwayne Wade was that bad at shooting threes. Like, and like I'm like Wade's my favorite player of all time. So, and I didn't even know that. That's hey man, that's unbelievable, man. But if y'all enjoyed that, as always, drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'm gonna catch you in the next video. We out of here. Peace.